Welcome back to Reloading Journey. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. Not so much to do directly with reloading, but it's definitely something that everybody should be thinking about and everybody should have that's into reloading, because you're into shooting. If you're into shooting, you're into a danger somewhat, and safety's a major issue. But as we all know, no matter how much you try to be safe, how much that accidents tend to happen at times, whether it's happening to you or happening to someone else around you, everybody should be prepared. So I've got this big guy here with me. His name's John. I don't remember. How did we meet?
Yeah, think you married my mom. I think you're the guy that married her, right?
That's right. Yeah, this is my stepson, John. He's a paramedic in Arizona. And how long have you been?
I've been in EMS for a little over 5 years. I've been a paramedic for about 3.5.
Awesome. So him and a couple of his friends, and you want to talk about them real quick?
Yeah, so one of the other guys that we're doing this with, his name's Kyle. He's been a police officer for about 7 or 8 years now.
In Arizona?
In Arizona, yeah. And then his wife, Arnella, she was a 911 dispatcher for a really long time, and now she does more of the administrative stuff with handling a fleet and detention and stuff, but she's still pretty connected to the field on that aspect. So we kind of all put our ideas in a pot and came up with the company, and which is where we are now.
What's the name of the company?
It's called SYS Tactical, and it's short for Save Yourself Tactical.
Awesome. So, yeah. Awesome. So just real quick overrun, just kind of a basic what do you guys offer?
Yeah, so the biggest thing that we were looking at when we started this whole thing was the availability of pre-built IFAKS, or what they call individual first aid kits. There's a lot of good ones on the market, but there was nothing that really intrigued us that had just really basic trauma stuff. A lot of other kits include, heating blankets. They include Benadryl, and they include aspirin and like Neosporin, and like those are all great things to have. But when you're suffering from a major trauma, whether it be a gunshot or a stab wound, I really don't care about the Neosporin or the Benadryl packs that are in there, right? Like, I want to worry about what's going to stop the bleed now and how I can stabilize this patient, get him to the hospital as quick as possible, and that was kind of something that we came up with. So we offer, as of right now, 2 individual kits. We have a basic kit that has all of the essentials that you need to handle major traumas. So like I said, gunshots, stab wounds, bad car accidents, rollovers, ATV rollovers, stuff like that. There's everything in this kit to handle those types of situations. We created the advanced kit, which has a couple extra things, a SAM splint for stabilizing, fractures in the wrist and the arm and the feet, legs, whatever. You'll be able to stabilize that fracture with the SAM splint. We did include a needle decompression needle. Little disclaimer about that: if you don't know how to use it, don't use it. There is medical device authorization for it, but if you're familiar with it and know how to use it, absolutely, it's in the kit, and we can run over that a little bit later and go over. There's a new one that we included in the kits that was from North American Rescue that we started including, so we got that in there.
So you had mentioned North American Rescue. You said most of the equipment in here you get from?
Yeah, it's going to be from North American Rescue. So we did a lot of research, and we tried to find the best supplies on the market that we could build a kit with. And I personally had some North American Rescue equipment just from other kits and stuff that I've had, and we really couldn't find anything better on the market. There was a few items here and there that were good, but the overall quality of North American Rescue is absolutely amazing. They are quick with shipments. They back their items, and you know that if you use a tourniquet and you go to tighten the windlass, like, it's not going to snap on you.
Yeah.
You know that if you use their gauze, like, it's going to be, it's gauze, so it's going to be there to absorb the blood. It's going to be able to be packed in a wound. Like, it's not going to rip on you, or it's not going to fray. Like, it's going to be quality stuff that they use. Their chest seals are absolutely amazing. So every kit has a twin pack of chest seals from them. Like, just all of their stuff all around is just awesome stuff. So
awesome.
The best stuff that we found on the market is what we put in these kits for you guys. So
very cool. Again, this is something I never really gave much thought to, until I started getting more into shooting and had a couple incidents happen that I was personally involved in. Nothing, well, one thing was major, but it wasn't nothing I could do. And it was, one thing was just one of our guys, we were shooting some steel, had a piece of brass get stuck in his neck, and just trying to get it out, we had nothing. We were there with a pocket knife trying to heat it, use a flame, just I don't know if it'd be any good.
Yeah.
We got pigeon nose pliers, we're trying to pull it out, and it wasn't life threatening to him, but he wanted to get it out, and we just didn't even have anything at that time. I do go out and shoot a lot by myself. Going out to test ammo that I'm making, test loads or something like that, and you just get to think about it. If something happened and you're out there alone, it's bad enough if you've got somebody and nobody has anything to do. At least they can get you in the car and get you to somebody that can. Yeah. If you're by yourself, you may not be able to do that, but at least you might be able to stop the bleeding yourself and do something. I did have an incident. I'll put up a picture. It's not a graphic picture, but it was October. Actually, I just looked it up. It's October 18th of 2018. I was going out to shoot, and in the desert, and I turn and go to make another turn. I see a car sitting there, and I see a guy just laying. His car was laying kind of like this. I drive by here, and I could just see his torso and up, just laying like this. And I turn around, pull up in front of his car, look at him, honk, honk. He doesn't move, and my thought is just he's dead. Which is a little creepy because how did he die? Am I going to get shot at and all that? But anyway, so I called 911. They wound up coming out. And what had happened, what they figured, and whenever I backed up, I could see his pistol over here, no magazine in it. After talking to the officers, when the coroner came out and all that, it appeared that he had popped, his trunk was open, had his gun cleaning kit out, dropped the magazine, went to break the gun down somehow, had one in the chamber, shot himself through the neck. Now, at that point,
not much you're gonna do.
Not much. Well, have you ever seen Kentucky Ballistic?
Yeah.
When his 50 cal blew up and it shot through and tore his, and he stuck a thumb in it. And,
yeah.
Yep. Not saying that this would have helped him, but it's something a little minor. Had he gone through his arm or something like that, he may have been able to save himself. Or had I pulled up sooner and seen it, had I had something like this and some little bit of basic training, I may have been able to help him. So that was just, it was shortly after that when when did you guys start? So you maybe it wasn't shortly. But,
about 2 years. 2 years ago.
So it wasn't shortly after that, but I thought about getting one of these. I just didn't know where. Then when they started up, I actually ordered one of his. So I've got one of these in my truck that's with me.
Yeah.
Anywhere my truck goes.
You were the first order.
Was I?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
All right, cool. So I didn't even know that. I just know when
Yeah.
I said, I've got this, I want one.
Yeah.
And I ordered one. And yes, I paid full price for it.
Yep.
Some son-in-law, huh?
Hey, we're just getting started, all right?
Yeah. No, I was happy to help. And it definitely, it's reassuring just knowing that it's there.
Yeah.
Even though half the stuff in there I honestly wouldn't know how to use right. And that's something that if he lived closer, one of these days he's got to come back out here and give me a full rundown on how to use everything. But at least it's there. And, doing the competitions and stuff, they always talk about, we've got this kit there, that kit there. I've seen guys that, have these on their cart when they're pulling from station to station. And it's reassuring, so knowing that those people are there and that it's there. And so, let's just go ahead and kind of go over what's in the base.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, everything that's in there is in here.
Yeah.
Which would be easier? Just go over this and say.
Yeah, that's fine. We can.
All right.
We can break
We
down.
don't want to. So we'll just go over what comes in the kits. He'll show you what's in the basic kit, and then show you what they added to the more advanced kit.
Yeah. So I'll remove this. We'll kind of keep that here. And the needle decompression needle.
And then they do have, while he's doing that, they come in the black, red, they got the green, this, and you said you had a camel one also?
We don't have a camel one yet, but that's being considered, yeah.
Okay, so you can pick from these 4 different colors. Something that he forgot to bring was the tourniquet.
Yeah, we have tourniquet holsters too, so they are designed, they have a MOLLE backing, so you can mount it directly to the front of the kit here to keep the tourniquet on the outside instead of the inside. And then they also mount to backpack. So if you have a backpack or even like a plate carrier that's MOLLE compatible. You can put that on there as well. So
Would you be able to
kinda
put it on a
fits.
belt, just on the belt loop?
I believe there's a belt loop portion on there too, where you could throw it on the belt.
Because I've seen guys at the competition stuff saw one guy had one wrapped around his ankle, so
Yeah.
it's just something that's nice.
Yeah, always good to have.
It's the first line.
At the very least, a tourniquet.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing is bleeding control, and this is gonna help with that right away.
So if they're hitting the ear and it's bleeding, just put the tourniquet around the neck.
Right.
Stop.
Yeah, no, don't do that. All right, so this is the basic kit, and then these are the 4 items. Yeah, these are the 4 items that are on the advanced side. So every kit's gonna have 2 pairs of gloves. There's only one in here. We got to get another one in here, but this is our demo kit, so we kind of packed this to show you guys. So you get 2 pairs of rolled gloves. You're gonna get 2 compressed gauze packs, and this is for wound packing primarily. So you'll get 2 packs of those. Those are here. You'll get an ACE bandage essentially to help with wrapping. Like if someone has a fracture on the arm or the wrist or even their foot or something, you can use the SAM splint. You can mold it to the fracture to help keep it straight and stabilized, and then you can use this and wrap it around it to help keep it together. Awesome. So you get one of those. You get a roll of tape, and every kit's got a roll of tape. This is the North American pressure dressing. So this is really good for the lacerations to the arm or to the leg, where you have a lot of bleeding. The first thing you want to do is use a pressure dressing of some sort, or apply direct pressure with your hand and see if that helps to stop the bleed, to help kind of clot it off a little bit. If you're, bleeding profusely and it's more of an arterial bleed, obviously the tourniquet's going to be the way to go, but you always kind of want to start out with pressure. And if that works, great. And if it doesn't, then we'll continue the pressure, but we'll also use the tourniquet. So every kit is going to have a emergency trauma dressing for pressure. Okay, keep that here. Every kit will have a tourniquet. This is a CAT Gen 7 tourniquet. This is also TCCC compliant, so Tactical Casualty Combat Care. It's a tongue twister. But they recommend this as one of their top tourniquets. It's really a simple design, but it never fails and it works 100% of the time, So every kit's gonna have a North American Gen 7 in there. Every kit will have a dual twin pack of the hyphen chest seals from North American Rescue. These are absolutely fantastic. So we included those in every kit as well. Put that there. Every kit will have 2 just regular abdominal pads. These are pretty awesome to have just in general, and they do kind of open like a trifold. So the intention with this is if you did have like an abdominal wound where you might have had some like intestines hanging out, which evisceration is what they call it, you would use this to kind of cover that, keep it covered and keep it clean, right? But we included these just for more bleeding control too. So these are going to be great for any major bleeding, right? You can use these to apply direct pressure. And we gave you 2 of those in there to use as well. And then every kit is going to have a marker. So the big thing with the tourniquet is when you apply the tourniquet, you want to pull this little gray strap across the front of the tourniquet, and then you mark the time. And the time is the biggest thing you got to document, because when the doctors go to release the tourniquet, or just in general when they get to the hospital, they want to know how long the tourniquet's been on. You can't keep it on. Roughly about 4 hours is kind of the cutoff with it that they like. So anything longer than that, they're going to have to figure out a longer term solution. So the time is very important. So every kit will have just a little mini marker. It sits in the top of the kit here, and it's just kind of looped into a little loop. So our biggest thing with this was just to keep it like that. And then when you need it, you just pull, and it's easy to come apart, So, and then every kit will also, we kind of just tuck it in here. We don't have anything to put in here, but it will also have just a little pouch. So if you wanted to throw some Band-Aids or some alcohol prep pads or the Neosporins or Benadryls, whatever, like you could absolutely throw that in here and totally be fine. So cool. But yeah, and then the advanced part of this is these 4 items here. So This is what they call an NPA, or nasal pharyngeal airway. It does come with the actual device, and then it comes with a lubrication packet back here. The big thing with this is to keep an airway open. There's two forms of airways. There's OPAs and NPAs. One you put in the mouth, one you put in the nose. The NPA is great because a lot of people have a gag reflex, and when you put something in the back of their throat, they want to gag and they want to throw up, and then they're going to aspirate, and that's just a whole another set of problems. So with the NPA, it goes into the back of their nose, bypasses their throat essentially, and it goes into the back portion, and it blocks the tongue from falling back into the airway, so the tongue stays forward, therefore letting the air pass through like normal. Because the biggest thing is when you're laying on your back, and I'm a big, when I sleep and I snore, if I'm on my back, my tongue falls in my throat, you know? So this helps to prevent that, keep the airway open.
So you use one of those every night?
Yeah, just shove one right in there, yeah. That'd be miserable. And then we have the SYS A, which this is our version of the hemostatic agent that North American Rescue sells. So essentially this is a syringe with powder in it. And the big thing with this is if you get shot in the thigh, if you get shot in the arm, get shot anywhere, outside of the chest, right? So I mean, any extremity wound, anything in the groin area, whatnot, you can use the syringe, and you basically just put the syringe in the wound a little bit, put the powder in there, and then the powder will mix with the blood that's coming out of the wound, and it creates like a gel seal almost, and it blocks that wound completely from bleeding, and it just helps stop the bleed until they can get to surgery in the hospital and stuff like that.
Oh, awesome.
So there's a couple different variations. A lot of the kits that we saw have the quick clot gauze, which is also just a great tool to have. We just wanted something a little bit different, and we kind of included the gauze. We have the hemostatic agent, so there will probably be in the future where we do a couple different kits, and we'll include, just for the simplicity of the hemostatic gauze, we'll probably include those in those kits as well. But the SYS is just a great tool to have that really just helps stop the bleeding on that aspect.
Cool.
And then this is the needle decompression needle. This is the new one that North American Rescue offers. So the big thing with this is when you would insert a needle, it just had the hole at the very tip. And the biggest thing this is used for is like tension pneumothorax. So if you get shot in the chest, a lot of the times it's called a sucking chest wound. The big thing you want to do is you want to seal it with the seals, and then if they do have a collapsed lung, then the needle decompression needle will be used to relieve the pressure, and they can start inflating the lung again. And they
So
can
that relieves the pressure outside of the lung, in the chest cavity.
In the chest cavity, yeah.
So it lets the lung
Yeah,
fill back
lets
up.
the lung fill back up, because that air that's going in there is essentially putting pressure into the thoracic cavity onto the lung. So we put that needle in there, and that air is able to escape. But it's more of a one-way valve too, so air is not going into it; it's just coming out. But the biggest thing with this is that they just redesigned this one, where there's multiple holes across, and we can open this one up. But essentially, this is biggest thing what it looks like here. So it has just centimeter marks of how your depth is, how far you're going. But you can see the bevel itself was
That's a nasty looking needle.
Yeah, was redesigned. It's a lot sharper and just a lot easier for insertion on that front. I don't know if they can really see that or not, but
Yeah, they should be able to.
yeah. And then this is the actual catheter. So once you put the needle in, you take it out. This is what's staying inside the patient's chest there. So you can see that there's a hole here. There should be one right here, and then they have the main hole right here. So there's 3 points of air exit where the air can come out of, versus the one that they used to have where it was just the tip. And the problem with this is this gets clotted off. Once you get blood on there, after a couple minutes, the blood dries, it clots off, and then it blocks the tip of this, and then the air wasn't coming out. So then you would have to shove another one in there right next to it and keep going. And then you would look at a patient, they got 4 or 5 needles on the side of their chest, So the big thing with this is there's more points of air to escape that are not going to clot off right away. So the theory is you can keep this in there, and it should be the only one you have to enter. Maybe one other one if you need to, but it's not like you're going to have to start sticking 5 darts in people, you know? So, yeah, so they did that, which was just absolutely amazing. But yeah, that's the needle decompression needle. Like I said, this is the most invasive thing that we have in our kits, and there is a disclaimer on our website too that says that you have to be medically trained or authorized in order to use this. So you don't want to just shove this into somebody if you don't know where to put it. Yeah. You know, so do the training on that as well. And then this is the SAM splint. These are awesome. And we can open this one up too, but basically they expand pretty long, but they're good for...
I broke my arm.
Yeah, exactly. So you got arms, you got feet. I mean, you can, there's a whole, a couple different ways you can use it. But they're pretty long. I mean, you can just see it's folded in there, and it's a rigid board, right? It's flexible, it's moldable, but if, at the end of the day, you can use it to splint whatever you need to, and then you just use the ace bandage to secure it, wrap it up, and you're good. So we included, those are going to be the 4 main components that are in the advanced kit. Every other kit will get these, and then the last portion here is the shears. So I was telling Jim earlier, we actually got these by accident. We ordered full-size shears from North American Rescue, and they kind of sent us like a little minier version, but we actually like the minier version better. Those are extremely sharp. They will cut through jeans, they'll cut through belts, they'll cut through shirts and all that. So for me at work, I carry the Leatherman Raptors, and these are a full-size shear that folds. They're a little easier for your pocket. These are absolutely fantastic, but the big thing with these is they're kind of hard to mount on the front, and they're very big. Yeah. And then the other thing is you can fold them and you can put them in the kit. But by accident, we found that the mini shears still do the job. They get everything done, but they will be able to sit on the front of the kit and just kind of hang out right there, so you can always have them available. That's a big thing with
that'd be like the first thing you want to do is get any.
Yeah, especially if you got, you fell off a motorcycle and you're wearing jeans and your legs all, twisted and stuff. Like the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut that pair of jeans off, and you're going to expose the injury. You're going to look at it, and then you're going to treat the wound from there. Yeah. So that's like the biggest thing. And then just down to the pack itself, we kind of went with these. They're pretty versatile in the mounting option. So all of these are MOLLE compatible, but they are a rip-away pouch. So the cool thing with this is if you mount this in your car onto the headrest in the back seat, you can use the strap that it comes with and wrap it around the back of the headrest and click it in, and it sits that way. And then these 2 tabs here, for most cars, you'll be able to take like the headrest out of the seat. The 2 prongs that go in there, you can run them through. They can stretch a little bit, and then you can put the headrest back down. So then that's just always sitting right on the back of your headrest. It's mounted, and then when you need your kit, you just grab it, go, and that's it. So that was one of the big reasons why we went with that kit. And yeah, we love it. It's quality. It's a little bit water resistant. So if you're out in the rain, none of your stuff's gonna get soaking wet. It's got that lining on the inside, so it should keep everything pretty dry. But yeah.
Right on. Well, I think that pretty much covers everything. I'll put a link to their website in the description. It is SYStactical.com.
Yep.
So just reach out to them. Like I said, it's something, if you're reloading, which this channel's about, you're shooting. If you're shooting, it's something everybody should have. Whether you go go that far with it, down there, or if you just go with the basic kit, at least you have, like I said, something to stop the bleeding and get someone stable while you wait for an ambulance or you transport that person.
That's the whole point of this kit is you're not going to cure anybody, but it's just enough to buy them a couple minutes. Get them a couple minutes to where an ambulance can get on scene, or if you're driving them to the hospital themselves. There's
a lot of times we're out there and there's no cell service. Yeah. So you got to keep them
Yep,
going or yourself going.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, that was a big thing with this too. Is we wanted to have something, well, in the name, right? Save yourself.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. Is getting a kit for you. That way, you know, like if you're out shooting or if you're in the car and something happens, you know, you'll have the ability to put a tourniquet on yourself. To, you know, if you can't, like put a chest seal on yourself if you need to. Like these things, you should be able to apply yourself. And then obviously, we have everything in here. To where somebody else could come use that kit for you if you're unresponsive, unconscious, and you're not able to do it yourself. You know? So, and then obviously to have it to help somebody else if they're in that situation as well. So,
and it looks like, I mean, from Kyle being an officer,
Yeah.
Ornella working in that also, and you
Yeah.
being a paramedic, you guys came up with something that, like you said, isn't all the little stuff that you find, you know,
Yeah.
it doesn't. This is the important stuff that's going to get you to that point.
Yep.
And it looks like you guys designed something really great here. So,
yeah, we've had some positive reviews. Doc Combat is a combat medic that did a TikTok review for us, and he went on and said that it was the best pre-made IFAK on the market that he's found.
Awesome.
Which was just a huge compliment from him. You know, obviously doing tours on you know, across the seas and stuff like that, and being in the shits essentially. You know, for him to say that was pretty cool. So we're very thankful for that, and we just wanted to make a good product, and I think we accomplished that here. So
yeah, looks like it. Anything else? I mean, is there? I know you talked about some stuff you might be doing in the future. Is there anything?
We're looking at some duty belt stuff for cops. The big thing is when they have all the gear, you guys have outer carriers, you guys have duty belts with just a ton of stuff on it. So we're trying to come up with different ways to get a smaller version of this where it's not sitting on the front of your chest. You know? And we've been coming up with a couple different prototypes and looking at some different kits and stuff like that. So hopefully in the future that will be available. We're just trying to find the right one that it kind of works and testing it and stuff like that.
Right
So.
on. I remember seeing on your site your guarantee. If you use it to save a life.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. So if you use any of this equipment to save somebody or save yourself, and we're not asking for like hospital bills or anything, but if you provide some proof of that and just say, hey, like, this is a picture of what I did, or like, hey, like, this is a police report or an ambulance report, or, you know, something that just says you aided the patient before EMS or fire got there. We'll absolutely give you whatever you use, and we'll give it to you. We'll send it to you. If you use a tourniquet, cool, we'll mail you a tourniquet. If you use the airway here and some chest seals, like, we'll send you that free of charge. We're not going to charge you.
So we don't have to, once this is used, we don't try to clean it again.
Yeah. Take some Clorox wipes and just scrub it down.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you guys stand by your stuff, and
Absolutely.
you want people to use it. You want somebody.
We
if
hope
they
that
have
you
that.
don't. Like, that's the ultimate goal, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to have to use this stuff, but if you have to use it, we want you to know that we'll back the product, and that we want you to use it to help save somebody. If you do that, then we'll replace everything. So.
Hey, we just had to jump back in here. I was editing the video, looking on his website. It was something we completely forgot. The Heroes discount. What is that?
Yeah, so we offer 15% off to military, first responders, and just kind of a thank you to you guys. Obviously, this is a first responder owned business, and we wanted to make sure that you guys are also getting a great quality product for just a little bit of savings. You know, it's not much, but it's something that we wanted to do for you guys. So, just all you have to do is send us your credentials or military ID to info@systactical.com, and then we'll review them and we'll approve it, and we'll send you a discount code for you guys to use. So,
All right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get that out
cool.
there.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thanks. Get out of here. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I think anything else you can think of?
Not really. Just go to systactical.com. We have all of our kits on there. We have a little about us, like the bio of me and Kyle and Arnella. We have all of the products. We have gift cards, stuff like that. We're going to be including some merch and some swag and stuff. We're Or, we're looking at T-shirts, we're looking at hats, we're looking at stickers and stuff like that. So we'll be adding that up, hopefully soon on the website. So, but yeah, go check it out. If you guys have any questions, you can email us directly at info@systactical.com. We're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. So always go on there, check it out. We would love a follow if you guys like what we have. And you can always direct message us on there as well. And we respond to those messages, within a couple minutes. We get them on our phones and stuff like that. So
Awesome.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks everybody for stopping by again. I hope this was informative and helpful. And like I said, I recommend it if you're shooting. This is something that is essential. It is part of that safety. So, like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thank you.